This hereby opens the court of their majesties, Daniel and Annelyn von Hessen.
Please bring forth the candidate.
Their majesties call before them Garan Halftrelson.
Your Majesties, I present to you Garan Halftrelson. He has spent his evening in contemplation. He has ended his journey with me and is ready to begin his journey serving you and Trimaris. I will speak on his behalf of his essential qualities of a perfect gentleman. From the very beginning of humble times, this man has stood by my side and has expressed his loyalty to not only myself, but to his family, his dearly beloved, his household, to crown and kingdom. His kindness and benevolence to those less fortunate than himself, the newcomers, the ones in need of help. He has shown this. He has taken up sword and shield for the righteousness of this kingdom. He has given wisdom to those that seek advice. And I believe he has the appropriate behavior. His decorum is unmatched. I present you to him this day.
Reflect upon the past day. Yes, I have. And you still wish to follow? Yes. Wish to be a man of work? Yes, I will. Is there anyone who can speak for this man?
Is there a member of the Order of the Rose that will speak for the candidate?
I will speak for him. I could come here and I could talk about your courtesy, for your chivalry, for your honor. And I'm sure that there are some who talk about your prowess. As a rose, we are expected to be inspiration. I will speak about your inspiration. Since I have known you, you have been the first into the fray. You have come out with bloody noses. You have done things that people half your age and more able-bodied could not do. People have told you that you should not or you could not. And you looked it in the face and said, but I can and I will. You inspired me to go back on my honor when I was told I could not or that I should not. You are inspiration to all of those that say, if you can, I can. And that is true when I talk.
Is there a member of the Order of the Chivalry who would speak for the candidate?
I would speak. Your Majesties, Symbol Populace, I am Gunnar Axnemegan, Knight of the Society, and I would speak for Garan. As a knight, I would expect the candidate to exemplify the knightly virtues. There are many lists of the knightly virtues. We normally talk about 7. Different people will come up with different virtues for that list. My 7, first we would talk about prowess. When you think of a knight, it's one of the first virtues that you think about. This candidate has won multiple tournaments, to include Champion of Trimaris, which is arguably the hardest tournament in this kingdom to win. And there are many of my brothers that have not had that accolade. He has won that tournament. He has exemplified the virtue of prowess. When you think of a knight, you think of courage. Truth be told, we often don't get the opportunity to demonstrate courage to the level that this candidate has. For he has taken the field, as was spoken of earlier, with issues that would have had others quit. And he has faced the field and the enemies of the crown unflinchingly, in spite of that. This candidate has demonstrated courage. Next, I would speak on the virtues that I think are key to the society. When you think of the society, the first thing that you think of, for me, is courtesy. I've spoken of his warrior's heart, but those that know him know that this candidate has a gentle soul. And no more courteous a man will you ever find. When you think of the SCA, you think of honor. This man, on many occasions, it's easy to demonstrate honor when it costs you little. But on many occasions, this candidate, at great personal expense, has driven hundreds of miles and set up gates for the kingdom at foreign wars, gates for his household. Simply because he said he would. This candidate is a man of honor. The ancient holy writings list 3 others that will round out to 7. First, it lists faith. This man has never wavered in his faith in the qualities of the dream. Through life's darkest hours, he has held steadfast to his faith in the dream. Next, in the ancient writings, it talks of hope. And through those darkest hours, his hope never wavered. And the ancient writing says these 3 remain: faith, hope, and charity. The greatest of these is charity. And charity in ancient times did not mean giving to others less fortunate, which he does. Charity in ancient times meant love. Those that know this candidate have seen no finer example of the love that he has expressed to the Countess Rihanna. And a loving and merciful God has once more brought love into his life. That is my list of the 7 knightly virtues. And your majesties, I would humbly submit that you will find no man that exemplifies those virtues more than this candidate.
Is there a member of the Order of the Laurel who would speak for the candidate?
I would speak. For those of you who do not know me, I am Duchess Anastasia. I have been queen of this kingdom and this kingdom alone several times. As a Laurel, I could speak about how I know that he's sewn his own garb. I could speak about the many gates that he's built. I could speak about many things that is related to being a Laurel, but I'm not going to. I'm going to tell you something that I reflected upon last night. Someone asked me, what kind of knight do you think Garan will be? Will he be a good knight? I can say, as I reflected, that I have known him from the immature boy that he was. I've known him to the great husband that he was. I've known him when he picked up a sword and shield, just so he could share the same love of the SCA that his wife did. I've seen him become a great athlete, in which he won many lists and was a hair's breadth close to becoming a knight. I've seen him throw that all away. I've seen him step aside and give up his life so that he could take care of his wife for years. He could have stayed. He could have continued to try to become a knight, but what was more important but love? Love was more important. I've seen him be steadfast, loyal, and true. So, when someone asks me, what kind of knight will Garan be? Will he be a good knight? I say no. He will not be a good knight. Absolutely not. Because he will be a great one.
Is there a member of the Order of the Pelican who would speak for the candidate?
I will. I am Thomas McCory, Master of the Pelican, companion of the White Scarf, Premier Sergeant of the Guard, first of that name. And I will speak in this man's service and love for the dream. Way back when, upon the mist of time, there was a young man who didn't even know how to fight. And this man and his lady took me to their home, and they showed me the drills. Age 21, age 20 years old. And if it were not for him and his opening his home, sometimes it's often enough his wallet, doing everything he could for love of these people, a love of this dream, love of this nation that is Trimaris, I wouldn't be here. I would have gotten run off by those more imposing. But he does not impose. He gives, he serves, he loves. Ever since, for the 25 years I have known Garan Halfdrelson, he has always done that and never failed in his duty. They say that greater love have not the man that give his all for his brethren. I'm paraphrasing. But he has done it. He has walked through the fires of trial and tribulation, of people telling him no, and he has just kept walking on, never turning around, ever forward. He has served, he has loved, and he is my peer.
Is there a member of the Order of Defense that would speak for the candidate?
Aye. I'm Seamus McDougall, Knight, Master of Defense. In the time that I've known Garan, I've not seen him once not grab his shield in defense of the kingdom. The one time that I did travel to Penzic, he was there with his shield, ready to go. He's been there at Scotch Welsh many a times with his shield, ready to defend. You've also done a lot of service for your kingdom as well. These are great things to do. I will stand by you any time in the line and call you my brother.
Their Majesties would call forth the Order of the Chivalry.
Knight should have proper accoutrement. To guard himself, to defend himself, and those he loves in his kingdom.
Is there a sword?
There is a sword. The knights are the right arm of the king and the queen. They are the people who give swift justice in the name of honor and chivalry, protecting the populace, and the sword is a symbol of their rank.
Is there a shield?
There is a shield. The shield is used by a knight to defend himself, but it is a symbol for him to defend those that cannot defend themselves.
Are there spurs?
The spur has been given to knights to drive them into battle and help them focus the steed and themselves to what is important in protection of the king and queen and those innocent and weak.
Is there a chain?
There is, Your Majesty, a chain. This chain is your bond of your word to crown and kingdom. It's a circle, it's unbroken, so must your bond to crown and kingdom never be broken.
This chain comes your guilty. This chain comes the weight of the oath of the night. Please keep this mind as does it all.
Is there a belt?
There is. The white of the belt represents purity, purity of thought, purity of action. It is an expectation of behavior that everyone should strive, and everyone who sees it knows what it stands for, even if they do not know who you are. A knight should always strive to be worthy of it.
May I also say that last night, and many other times I've met this gentle, even upon one of the most joyous occasions, his first thought was for others. And to me, to my heart, that holds so dear and so true. Always wear this with honor.
Primary, the crown, where my fealty is all the cult. No matter who they are, whether they've been here 1 week or 45 years. Protect and serve to the best of my ability.
hear your words. We gladly accept.
First, Your Grace, there's one last thing we would have.
Soreless man. This be the last blow you receive unanswered.
Please, welcome, Sir Garan.
Vivat! Vivat! Vivat!
This hereby closes the court of their majesties, Daniel and Annelyn von Hessen. Long live the king!
Long live the king!
Long live the queen!
Long live the queen!
Long live the prince!
Long live the prince!
Long live the princess!
Long live the princess!